And when you go into 2024, you will have exactly what you're looking for. You'll know exactly what you're doing. Because this right now, for many of you, is year one. Year one. Year one, 95% of the time is not a profitable year for any of us when we first start trading. It wasn't for me. It was not for me. 1992 was my first year, and I started literally 6 weeks away from the end of the year. Exactly when I don't want to trade now. See the difference? Because I felt like I had to do it real quick, and I had no idea what I was doing. And then in 1993, I had a flash of luck, and then crashed and burned. So year two, not profitable. So it's normal for you, and let me remind you all, it is absolutely normal for you to be learning and engaging in deep study, exercises, back testing, forward testing, tape reading. I'm literally going to take you through the real process that I've always taught in private mentorship that 90% of my students just simply didn't want to do. So you're going to have no excuse this year. You're going to know what it looks like to back test, how to journal, how to look at the end of the week, how to look for setups, how to go back and find your model. All those things I'm literally going to walk through like a student would be expected of me. I'm going to do it with you. So that way you can see exactly what it is that you should have been chewing on every single day and every single week, every single month, every quarter. And then by the end of the year, now you have something to work with. Then you make a decision. How do you want to trade? What setup are you going to focus on? All of those ideas that you all see repeated tweets and questions in my comment sections of my videos. How do I do this? And what should I do about that? You're going to see that many of those questions are personal. You have to come to those conclusions independent and uniquely on your own. You can't have input from someone else. Just like the topic of this discussion, monthly goals, when they'll tell you you shouldn't have that. If someone tells you they don't believe that a trader should have monthly goals, I guarantee you, if you looked at their P&L and their month-to-month stats, they're not consistent. They're not consistent. So what is the multiplier? I apologize. You're going to hear me sipping. I have no way of editing these things out like I normally do in my YouTube videos. I've done pretty good. I haven't dropped one F-bomb yet. It's probably coming though. We have the choice of multiple setups when it comes to ICT concepts. So when you're looking at the marketplace, I don't try to take any of you or all of you collectively and like silly putty press you all into the same mold, because it doesn't work that way. And I felt that was likely to be the best way for me to become a trader when I tried to be like a Ken Roberts and I couldn't make it work. And then when I tried to be a Larry Williams and I couldn't make that work. And I tried to be a Jake Bernstein, seasonal tendencies only, no technicals. Just look at, okay, this is the day it should do this. And then I lost money doing that too. And I did Elliott Wave, lost money. I did Gann, lost money. I used Hurst stuff. That's a different discussion. Dow theory. Simple patterns and harmonic patterns. I've done all that stuff. Heikin-Ashi, Renko bars, point and figure. I've done all of it. Every single thing out there, I've done it. Volume profile, yeah. All of those things, if they help you, when I talk about how I don't like them, and if it's useful for you, it matters not what my opinion is. But I have to be honest when I'm asked what is my opinion about them, they're gimmicks. They're reasons for something. They're the catalyst for you making a decision and you placing a bet, just like anyone else going to a roulette table and saying, yep, what's my son's birthday? Okay, I'm going to play that number on the roulette. And my favorite color is red. So that's what they come to. That's their system. That's their gimmick. That's their thing that makes them do what? Make a decision. But then they have to decide how much money they're going to bet. They're going to keep betting that over and over and over again until they blow all their money. So it matters not really what you're doing to get into the marketplace, because you can make money if you're a good money manager. You can make anything a coin flip that can be utilized as a catalyst. But if you can't let your winner run and cut short your losing positions, it matters not what you're using. So what's the advantage of my stuff? My stuff is very precise. So if you add in the fact that it's aligned with the market algorithm, times when the market's likely to do certain things, look what happened today. I told you, close your charts. What happened in the marketplace? Chop. And I've watched so many people on the internet in live streams and on Twitter and on, well, I don't have an Instagram, but I have people that send me stuff that, look at this guy, look at this lady, look at this person. They're over there trying to do this and they're calling this and they're getting chewed up. You have to know when not to do something. You have to know when your son's birthday and your favorite color isn't likely to come up on the roulette table. If it comes up right on your next spin, what's the chances of it happening again right after that? Next to zero. So you have to know when not to do something. And unfortunately, a lot of these folks out there pretending and masquerading as mentors and teachers, they haven't even been in the game long enough to know what it's like to be in a market that is not tradable. Everything's going to the moon. Everything's on fire. This market's lit. It's gonna run and blow the top off, or it's gonna melt completely down. Everything's an extreme. And I get that. That's how you can tell their length of time in trading, because everything is an emotional experience. It's all hyped up. And that's why a lot of the folks that are in that's a cult. They don't like someone like me because I'm fuddy-duddy. I'm monotone. Unless I go ratchet ICT on a Twitter space, there's really nothing, that gets all that animated. But you want to be just like this with your money. Like, do you want to be nuts and just insane with all your betting and putting money at risk on emotionalism and hyped up decision making? No. But you listen to these people and they'll tell you that they're trying to flip their account 100% every single month. And while I do believe that's possible, is it possible for you as a new startup? You just started learning about this stuff. Do you think it's realistic for you to have even considering at all that being a goal for right now? Because if you think that's a goal for you, you won't be here long. No matter what I teach you, you won't be here long, because you're going to bring in unrealistic expectations and you're going to wreck yourself. I didn't come into this industry wanting to do that, but I grew into it by buying books and listening to courses and buying authors of so-and-so's courses saying this and so-and-so's courses doing that. And later find out that, they themselves couldn't do it. So what does that tell you? So it's altogether something different. When I'm sitting here telling you on Twitter, the tweets can't be deleted. I mean, I guess I could tweet and then delete it, but I don't do that. I have people taking my tweets. They go right into I don't know if it's like a server or something, but every single one of my tweets go into a log. And believe me, if I ever delete a tweet, you're all going to know about it. Okay. But I'm not going to. I don't need to. I love doing what I'm doing because I'm teaching you the foundation to building realistic monthly percent returns. Because you have to have a target. If you have no target, you're aiming at nothing. If you aim at nothing, you're going to hit nothing. So you came to me and people like me because you want to have the experience that we have or pretend to have. Now, clearly, I think I'm showing you that I can see these things before they happen. You're experiencing it. Just look at the tweets and look at the people's reactions. When you're looking at the chart and it's happening. And I know You're sitting there smirking. Right now, the corners of your mouth is turning up, that small little tug of a smile and smirk, because you know what you've been witnessing. You know that my slogan is every week, every day, and it won't stop. I'm proving it. Now, you will be able to do this skill set, but you will not in year one be able to go out every single day and find a setup like I'm doing. That's not realistic. Year 2.5, 3, yeah. So what is a goal for you? As a new student, what is reasonable ICT? What should a new student hope to do by the end of year one? Number one, your first year is discovering who you are as a trader, because you're going to go through all kinds of seasons, not just four, okay, not spring, summer, fall, winter, okay. You're going to have some wild, crazy experiences in your own development, because there's going to be times where you think you figured it out. And then all of a sudden you're going to go into a tailspin and you're going to experience something else in the marketplace, which is a quarterly shift. And it's going to feel like everything you're doing, because you haven't aligned yourself with the market, what it's doing then, it's changed, but you haven't seen it change yet, or you're resisting it. And you're going to insist on taking a square peg and putting it into a triangle, and it's not going to fit, and you're going to be frustrated. And you're going to think, oh no, these things are being manipulated now. They're changing the algorithm. I'm not changing shit. It's staying exactly the way it is. So you need not worry about it. But you're going to be trying to think about how you are feeling, and you're never going to be able to do this. And that's not the right way of doing it. You have to relax and allow yourself to observe, experience these changes in the marketplace. They're quarterly shifts. Don't hold your opinion or your bias too hard or firm, because they will be ripped from your hands. Whether you want to relinquish the grip or not, it will happen. So you want to hold things lightly. That way, when you see trouble arising in your trade, you don't go in and say, oh, I'm going to hold on and I'm going to move my stop away from where I had it initially, if you even used a stop, like I see people on live streams doing. That's a telltale sign that that person doesn't know what they're doing, because if they knew what they were doing, they would not be moving their stop once it was placed. They just submit to the fact that they're getting stopped out. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. That mechanism is there for your protection. That's what you're paying the stop to do, its job. Limit how much I'm willing to take as a loss. Not, I'm in a trade, I'm holding on longer, it's not moving fast enough for me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to open my stop up more and take on more risk. How is that a good idea? See, you're going to have that experience. You're going to feel like doing that. I'm going to force you not to do that this year. And you will learn. I will teach you. By the numbers, you will be better than you are right now, and you're going to know more about price action than anybody else can show you. When you sit down on Twitter, whether you're doing it live with me or you come back to it later on when you get back home, or you find time to go through it, it's important for you to understand that those tweets are time and date stamped. I can't change them. I can't edit them. I don't have a professional account or whatever they offer where you can edit your tweets. I don't do that. So when you look at these setups, if you look at these draws of liquidity, it's important for you to start monitoring what price does from that moment there. Now, if you can't watch it live, you can go onto TradingView and watch it in market replay. It's not the same as watching the candles paint real time. And you can't do like a demo trade or a paper trade with market replay on TradingView. And I hope they never allow it. I hope they never allow it, because it's wonderful for me to be able to do what I'm doing, because there's no excuse for why you can't trust this as real time. I made a post earlier today. One of the new students sent me a message, said, hey, when you teach with a demo, does it bother you other people say, oh, he only teaches in demo? And I've come to the conclusion that most recently, a lot of the folks that have that opinion of me, and I've always had that opinion. It's always been levied against me because they want to see me perform in a live account because they just want to be like I'm a entertainer, like a WWF wrestler. Like they want to pay a fee, which is their time, and I'm obligated to entertain them. No, I'm not. If I'm not entertaining you with precision with a demo before it happens, what difference does it make how much money I'm making? It makes no difference whatsoever. You just want to see that experience. So explain why I'm able to do it with just the paper trades, because I'm showing you that it's before the fact. And there's no answer to it outside the fact that it's really there. It's happening. And you can learn it instead of arm wrestling me, learn how to do it. But the student says to me, does it bother you? I was like, no, because these same individuals that are levying their opinion about whether it's being taught in a live account or if it's in a demo, they're trading with funded accounts. And funded accounts are demo. So where's the argument here? They have relevance to their own trades in demo and hope that they can be profitable because then the funded account company would pay them a profit split based on that. Do you see anybody arguing against a funded trader who gets a withdrawal while trading their demo accounts? Nobody's arguing against that. But they're going to say that about what I'm teaching you to do because they don't want you learning what you're learning here because they're all trying to sell services. I'm selling you nothing. So this entire year, you're going to have all kinds of distractions thrown at you. And you have to make a choice. Do you pay attention to that stuff? Or do you see what's working? Because I'm working. I'm working every single day. I'm putting it in front of you. I'm keeping you engaged. And there's no ad revenue on Twitter. Okay. I'm passionate about this. And I want this last year of my time with you all to be meaningful. And I want you to get the most out of it. But if you're going to be lackadaisical about it and have no targets, you thought I strayed off topic, didn't you? You have to have a target. You have to know what it is that you're aiming for. So what's reasonable? At the end of the first year, your goal should be able to target 6% per month. And some of you are like, what the fuck? 6%? Come on, ICT. Seriously? Like, I want to do better than that. Your first year, you're probably not going to, because you're going to find these barriers that you don't even realize you have yet. You don't even know what you don't know about yourself yet until you get into that trading account, whether it be funded through a prop firm or your own money. You don't know what it feels like to have a trade on that you thought damn well it was going to do what you thought it was going to do, and you took your stop loss off because you don't want to be wrong. You don't want to be wrong. You're going to take your stop loss off or open it up, and then, which would have been a 1.5% loss, now became a 5% loss. And now you're thinking, oh, I broke the rule. I got 5%. Man, I don't want anybody to see this. I got to fix it. And you're going to go in and try to do what? Over leverage, over trade. And that never works out well. And even if you could get it back, that's not skill. That's gambling. I'm not teaching gamblers. Okay, you want to gamble? Go to the casino. You want to learn how to manage money? You're in the right place. You want to have multiple ways as a catalyst to get into a trade? You found the right place. You want to know what the market's likely to do next? You sure as hell are in the right place. That's what I'm proving to you daily on Twitter. I'm proving it to you that you can see these things coming, and you don't need a whole lot of movement to do well. Some of you have heard people say, you shouldn't have these goals because the market can't be timed and you don't know what the market's going to give you. Again, this is being spoken from people that have no fucking idea what they're doing. They're hit and miss. Their logic is lacking. They're looking at retail indicators and they're only taking trades based on that mathematical acrobatics of what price has already done, calculating all this bullshit. spitting out some kind of indicator. And instead of looking at price and watching what the fuck that's doing, where's it going? Where's it come from? They're spending all their time and anxiety poring over indicators, thinking that that's going to be what? The crystal ball. That's the thing that helps them figure it out. That's their edge. That's their secret weapon. I know the folks don't believe there's an algorithm, but he's going to try to make 40 handles. So he's doing 2 to 1. You don't need to do the math on all this bullshit that people write these books about. Oh, you need to have this. I can make money and he can make money and you can make money with a 1-to-1 ratio. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says, okay? Because you don't know what you're doing when you first start. And these jokers that write books and courses and horse shit, they're not making profitable trades either. And here's the thing, all these are multiple setups. You have to have 5 to 1. I teach that as a thought process, and you'll see that in the core content lessons of my mentorship videos I put on my YouTube channel. Stop sending me requests to join my private mentorship because I don't do that anymore, and I put the lessons up on the YouTube channel for free. Go and fucking enjoy them, learn from it, study it, and it is what it is. Stop paying people to learn what I've made available for free. You're getting it right from the source, and I'm ongoing teaching right here, again, for free. But the multiples that people say you have to have or you're going to lose, for instance, you got to have 3 to 1 minimum, or your risk of ruin is this, that, and I think, because they argue that you have to have that type of ratio in your trading where you risk $1 to make $3 minimum. If you can't do that, don't take the trade. Okay, that's a religion. Okay, they say I'm a cult leader and I'm running a cult here. Okay, I'm going to turn this shit around on you. If you think that you have to have a 3 to 1 to make money, you're a fucking clown. Okay, because what you're saying is you're ignoring the idea that you know or don't know the outcome of the next series of 5 trades. Even with that 3 to 1, you're assuming that you can't have a fucking losing streak of 10 trades. Think about it. When I was coming up, I had that. And I had a model that worked, because I was trying to push the button more times than I should have. That's the part. That's the thing. That's the real troll in your trading. The impulsiveness. The times that you want to push it faster than it really is in the chart. That's where the real work is. And that means knowing where the price is going. Why should it behave that time? That's why I have time aspects to my trading. I cut out all the bullshit. And like I was showing you the other day with the FOMC rate announcement thing, why don't I trade those days? Why don't I tell my students to trade those days? Because the absence of precision, how much plainer does it need to be? They're highly manipulated at that time, just like non-farm payroll, just like CPI. You know, these big events, they're highly manipulated. So there's manual intervention, and you can't trust your chart. I don't trust mine. So you have to wait for that initial sandstorm to pass, and then go in there and do your business. But you don't think that way until you've been burned lots of times and lose money. But once you have learned how to keep that from happening again, and the effects of having lost money, you will appreciate sound logic and rules. I don't have a problem with rules. I'm a rule-based, principle-based thinker. I have protocols, procedures. I have a routine that I follow. There's a method behind my madness. Even though it may seem like it's scatterbrained, I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing, when I'm doing it, and many times weeks and months before I even do it. Do you have to be that fanatical about it? No. So to remove all the bullshit that people say about me and what I teach, I have literally gave you a 60-minute interval 3 times a day where you can look for a setup. The setup requires you to know where the draw on liquidity is. You don't even need to know the bias on the day. Like, you don't need that. Just look at where we have come prior to that time. Is it more likely, because we've been going up, who's profitable? The longs. Okay. Is there a relative equal lows? Is there a singular low? that hasn't been traded to yet. Because even if the day is going to be higher, they're likely to see it do what? Retrace, run some stops, and then accumulate those sell stops and go long. Smart money would be long, and then run the daily range higher, even still. Like, you don't need a bias, but to help you understand, to be principally oriented, have a rule-based idea, you should be focusing on developing a bias, because there's going to be days where you don't want to trade. You don't want to trade. And I teach you that. They're very generic days. They're not hiding from you. And when I talk about it on Twitter, oh, this is a day I'm not really excited about, or this is something I wouldn't touch. Otherwise, it's very static days. Days right before non-farm payroll, any FOMC day. Don't trade ahead of CPI, but after CPI, you can trade it. I mean, it's not rocket science. But many of you don't want to be told, don't do this. And many of you don't like to be told what to do. You come here, you listen to me talk, you talk about trading, you teach, you give things, you got students that are making real fucking money, you're showing executions that prove the concept, but you don't want to listen to the logic I share. Cameron.